This is for Algebra 2. This is solving radical equations day 2. Remember, a radical is usually a square root or some kind of root. Quick refresher, if you have something to a fraction power, that is a root, and the bottom of the fraction, the denominator, is what root we're talking about. So for this problem, it would actually be the fourth root of 2x minus 5 equals 2. Anytime you have a root, you isolate your root, which we've already done. You raise both sides to the power of the root. So since it's the fourth root, we're going to raise each side to the fourth power. Your root and your power are going to cancel each other out and leave you 2x minus 5. Equals 2 to the fourth is 16. Normal equation here now, just get x by itself. Add your 5 and you get 2x is equal to 21 divided by 2, x is equal to 10.5. So that's just a quick refresher. Now, moving on to the assignment, I'm going to help you out. The first page, there's not very many on it. Just take each one and solve. Remember that, tell you what, I will help you out a little bit more on this. Remember that if you have a number on the outside of the root, like this, you're going to either divide both sides by the number. So you have the square root of x is equal to 8 over 3, and then you square both sides. And so x is equal to 64 over 9 equal to whatever you would get there. Or you can just make sure and square the number outside. And if you did it that way, 3 square root of x is equal to 8. When you squared this side, square that side, you would have 3 squared is 9, square root of x squared is x equals 8 squared is 64, and you still end up with x is equal to 64 over 9. Either way works. So back to looking at this on your first page, you can do this. I see one more thing. Once again, you don't have to write these down. This is just to kind of get it in your mind. If you had the square root of x minus 1 plus 2 is equal to the square root of 3, if this were me, I would probably move this 2. Square root of x minus 1 is equal to the square root of 3 minus 2. You're going to square both sides. Notice I put all of that side in parentheses and then squared it. So x minus 1 is equal to the square root of 3 minus 2 squared means write it again. And distribute or do FOIL. So square root of 3 times square root of 3 is 3. Minus 2 square root of 3 minus 2 square root of 3 plus 4. Combine your like terms. X minus 1 is equal to 3 plus 4 is 7 minus 4 square root of 3. You still have a square root. You got to isolate again. So what you're going to want to do here is move your 7 and you get x minus 8 is equal to negative 4 square root of 3. You either divide by negative 4 or square both sides. I would probably square both sides. So you're going to have x minus 8 squared. So you're going to have x squared minus 16x plus 64 equals 16 times 3, which is 48. Now you have a normal quadratic. Move your 48 over. I'm going to go to the top since I'm out of room. X squared minus 16x, 64 minus 48, so you're going to say plus 16 is equal to 0. You would put that at y1, put that at y2, second calc 5. I don't think it gets that detailed on your assignment, but just kind of getting you to understand that if there's two different radicals, you're going to have to isolate, square, isolate the other one, square again. So this first page, as I've said several times now, you can do on your own. I think it won't be that big of a deal. The next page came in sideways, so let me pause it and get that fixed. Okay, not super easy to see, but basically just giving you an idea of what's going on here. You're going to take, let's look at number 11 on that page. You're going to take this and you're going to solve it. So 4x squared is equal to 180 divided by 4x squared is equal to 45. And then you got to get rid of the square root or the x squared by square rooting it. So x is equal to plus or minus 45 divided by 5, 9, 3 and 3. So that's 3 square root of 5. So you would go down here and find at the bottom the one that has 3 square root of 5, and you would mark that one out. You wouldn't mark it out, you would put the word the in that spot. You'll just do each one, find the answer, go put the word in the spot that you had. On the next page, if we look at number 9, you would need to move that w, and so you would have the square root of 3w plus 10 is equal to w, because 0 plus w is just w. Square both sides, and you're going to get 3w plus 10 is equal to w squared. It's a quadratic, get everything on the same side. 0 is equal to w squared minus 3w minus 10. You can either factor it, put it in y equal, whatever you want to do. I'm going to factor w minus 5 and w plus 2. So that means that w is equal to a positive 5 and w is equal to a negative 2. Now, you've got to check the answers because they may not both work. If I did 3 times 5 is 15 plus 10 is 25, square root of 25 is 5 minus 5 equals 0 because minus w. That works. If you do it with negative 2, 3 times negative 2 is negative 6 plus 10 is 4. Square root of 4 is 2 minus a negative 2 is equal to 4. It needed to equal 0, so that does not work. So for this one, the only one that works is the 5. So you would go to number 9 and you would do CL. And then the next page, same thing. You just go through and find the answer and go mark out the one that is the answer. For example, square root of x is equal to 8, so x is equal to 64 because you had to square both sides. So you would go and find 64 and you mark it out. And you use what's left to make your phrase or answer your question. So that's all. You're going to go to your assignment now, which basically is just finishing the packet you have. It's nothing new. It's what we've been doing, working with radicals for several days now. We did solving yesterday as well as today. If you have any questions, call me over.